It's just a very dynamic fight. Like it goes on a journey, different weapons, different levels, and it's a very personal fight too for Cyrano. He takes this as a personal offense by De Guiche to silence writers, that these thugs represent a threat to not just his friends' life and well-being, but to the freedom of expression. What we just saw was me fighting, the beginning of me fighting 100 men, which Mike did such a great job of regenerating all our bad guys.
So a fight director is somebody who is a movement person who specializes in moments of violence. And there are techniques that we employ to make the violence safe.
It's exciting. It's really cool to dialogue with Mike and to watch Mike sculpt it into like a story structure. It's very similar to learning your lines and your scenes with a partner in a traditional acting scene. You learn this dialogue, this vocabulary, except instead of words, it's movement.
We look for, what does the script tell us? What are the plot points? What are the story points we need to tell in the script? Then I talk to James, and we discuss what he wants to do with his character. We talk to Nelson, our director, to see what he wants to envision in this moment. And then we start building. I think the connective tissue with our audience is they're used to seeing things like this in movies today. And something that ambitious takes months to create for the movies. We strove to be just as ambitious here in a live setting.
It's definitely a fun thing. It's not your average day on a film set or even on the theater. Other than some scenes on The Walking Dead where there were, like dozens and dozens of walkers and CGI walkers, this probably is like the biggest fight scene that I've been a part of, especially with like so many, opponents and different weapons and different levels, which is pretty interesting and dynamic about this particular fight. Each weapon demands a different kind of reaction to it, and some of them are like, they're nasty, like hammers and like daggers and like homages to some pretty street fight worthy films like Old Boy.
There is an extra level of like visceral response that I think the audiences are going to get to engage with, possibly for the first time, in seeing something this large in scope.